Yeah, last. No, okay, not last M series. It wasn't Lutfi. Yeah, you're right.
Or official, I think
I think
he could
officially.
have it right now.
Well, okay, for sure,
Hmm.
the mid
Fiona.
trio,
Okay,
right?
The mid trio.
Kyrie,
for sure.
Boy, and of course
They're
Hans.
veterans.
They're veterans, so they have a lot more experience in that regard. So, looking at these factors, I'm actually curious to see and think about what you guys have to say about the power rankings. We're gonna bring the power rankings up from Onik Pertiwi's coach,
Oh.
Onik Chico here. Broken down into four categories. Up top, we have the potential champions. Second, need consistency. Third, just keep trying. And fourth, good effort, guys. Now, I'm going to start with you, Arashi. Agree or disagree with this power ranking?
Oh man. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of teams right here.
Yeah.
It's hard to just go like agree with everything or with none of it. I feel like a lot of the rankings here I can agree with, but unfortunately, if you look at ID right there, potential champions. Yeah.
TLPH.
Oh, TLPH.
Yeah. It's a little small, you know, the font.
Yeah, it's hard to see, man, really.
Understandable. It's TLPH, Onyx PH, and Onyx ID and potential champions.
No, I mean, especially with a lot of people would say that RRQ should be higher up there as well. But considering the performances and the games that look like a bit of a dip, a bit of a tilt situation, I can understand why he would put RRQ needing consistency.
So would you agree, though? Would you put them at need consistency?
I would put them on top, but you know, that's
Okay.
just me. That's
Okay.
just me. I
What
can
about
agree
you?
with
Being
most
biased?
of the points.
What about you, Colius?
I think I'm totally agree.
Totally agree.
Totally
Okay.
agree. Because if we are talking about RRQ, there is a lot of things that they need to fix from their last match, especially. And right now they are going to like having the grand final
Yep.
match. And for the SRGOG, yeah, I think that in the previous performance, I saw like they are losing their spirit.
Ooh.
Yeah, but right now they are trying to get it back because they qualified to the EWC MSC, right? That's why they need the consistency.
Need consistency. Remember, SRG or G are the defending champs.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're not at the top
On
is
the second
actually
tier.
quite interesting. Do you agree? Disagree?
Technically, they did it last year. Nobody saw them coming
Yep.
as well. Sure, now it's a different like plot because they're the defending champs, and perhaps they might surprise us again. You mentioned motivation. I agree. I think SRG needs that fire. They got the ticket already. Let's see that fire in Riyadh later on.
Especially defending champion is a
That-
pressure, bro.
I agree. I mean, TLID kind of flunked under that pressure, and that wasn't even on an international scale, right?
Right.
Defending champions of MPLID, nowhere to be seen.
Runner-up
This
M
season.
series.
That's pretty wild. So it really goes to show how far and how fast teams can actually fall off their horse. So we'll see exactly like you mentioned, Colius, how far SRG will come this season. Because I think in an interview, it was Ancha? Is his name Ancha? Ancha
Antagonist.
mentioned, oh yes, Antagonist mentioned that if he had to go top 3, he'd go PH, Indo, and just SRGOG. Why is this? What's up with the rest? SRGOG. Why is this? What's up
Всем
with the
салам,
rest?
салам. Алло, привет, привет.
SRGOG. Why is this? What's up
Всем
with the
салам,
rest?
салам. Алло, привет, привет. Всем салам.
Any other thoughts?
Чё, мы
And
сегодня
it's
смотрим
what is
турнир
happening in Malaysia. It's similar feel. I feel like
индонезийский.
when Onyx
Играю
was
против
in their prime
Oh,
when
yeah.
they got
Уники.
the 4 feet in ID. Right? It's just Onyx and then the rest of the team, and it's a similar feel.
Я ожидаю
Every
best of
international
7.
Onyx always the favorites, but the other
7
team,
игр.
yeah, sometimes A
Но
team not
ровные
SP.
игры на каждом матче, чтобы...
Думаю, в зависимости от пика.
Хотя также, Игорь, тут может пойти против Батанга.
И отчасти закрывает пик Джой из-за того, что ей сильно будет неприятно против
Баданг
Альянса,
плюс
если
Харит.
против
Бакси.
И сложно пробить что там. Сложно пробить
Бакси
хотя
это
бы
тот,
персонажа.
Хаябуса это получается Годот Ром, Эксплой
На месте
Бакси,
ТЛС
Баданг,
на второй
Эксплой.
стадии банов я бы забанил Фреда. Возможно.
Или у них
Открывает мид и
такая
хотя бы...
Ша. ТЛС на второй стадии банов я бы забанил Фреда. Возможно.
Че у вас нахуй
Открывает мид
трансляция
и
офнулся,
хотя бы
Ша.
долбоёбы.
Да.
интересом. Как будто
Фреда нужно банить.
хочется весь идет.
Че за турнир,
Фред не даст
ёпрст?
поиграть. Ну, Хайбусе будет трудно его взорвать. Бакси он
Охуенно.
будет сильно контролить, сбивать
Трансляция
ему.
хуйня, ебаный. Блин.
Ulti tadi.
Это...
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes in my silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating.
Darn it! I went a bit too far.
Waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.
Don't dress in a gown for the close combat. I am here.
Set my heart afire. What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside.
Герой свой. Ну, эта темка нужна для того, чтобы делать дабл прокрут. Когда вы прям в героя залетаете, любой трос в сторону даете, и дабл первый проявляется. Да, еще забыл сказать про механику. Если вы вторым навыком попадаете, то у вас активируется первый скилл, и вы летаете на нем. Можно бесконечно так вол спамить, но тут расчеты вашей энергии. Хватит, нет. Беру в основном смайт синий, потому что другие... Если вы будете в полете, можно давать в полете смайт, герой замедлится, на нем будет легче стакаться. Либо если у вас не хватает урона, но это на старую фане в основном это смайт брали, фиолетовый, чтобы добивать, но не так сильно заходит. Можно поэкспериментировать с красным смайтом, когда вы только залетаете, потому что вы спамите, вы в файтах остаетесь. Красный смайт бафает ваш урон, тоже может также зайти. Опасаться надо героев с контролем, также не подставляться под них. Это не тот герой, который 1 в 5 дерется. И также вы играете в команду. Одни не залетаете, вас АДК везде могут убить. Что в мид-гейме, что в лейт-гейме, поэтому будьте аккуратнее. Если вы пикаете файне, надо остерегаться героев с контролем. Прямой контрпик это хуфра, не дает шариком выйти из-под вас, если он попадает им. Вы не можете со второго выехать. Баданг из меты неприятный, потому что считает стену, и вам тоже никак не выйти с этого. Если у вас точечный контроль, подобие Идоры, то можно просто пролетами байтить. В основном в эту фане можно пикать под танка. Если под вас играют мурчалки, саппорты, то она будет плохо заходить, потому что вы не танк. Вы убийца. Кого она вырезает в основном? Ну, в основном саппорты, плюс АДК. Также многих лесников 1 на 1 она переигрывает. Например, Хайбуса, если вас ультанет вы на 2 тросах, если быстро дойдете, то ульта сбрасывается, вы просто возвращаетесь к нему, это я прохожусь по метовым убийцам. То есть Джой, также просто от нее улетаете, кажется, никуда догоняете, и потом спамите ее. В основном всех метовых убийц она убивает 1 на 1, и также по карте переспличивает, и у нее ротация намного быстрее. Зашел, пикнул на ФП файне. Все как по гайду. Первые 3 пика вы можете ознакомиться. Бадан, Хуфра, Москов. Будет очень интересно поиграть. Из-за меня 2 АДК планируется. У Кентика их есть. Делай. Ну еще Виксана с рукой нормально, и с лордом. Пока 4 контроля из 5. Все как я люблю на фане. Давай 5-й, Акай. Нормально. Давай. Давай, Акая. Да похуй, давай, Акая. Ну ладно, типа альфа пикнул. Но было бы интереснее против 5 контролей поиграть. Но пока против 4 будем играть. Так, на фане. Первую, когда я молот гнева собираю для урона в начале. Но против этого пика с контролем я планирую через топор идти, потому что там, во-первых, много жира. Топор тебе дает чистый урон. И как минимум из-за выживаемости. Я только из-за выживаемости буду собирать топор тут. Надо очень сильно жить. А чтобы очень сильно жить, надо фолл танка идти на фане, будто бы. Первый баф заберем, летим сразу на красный. Пики надо остерегаться в основном Хуфру и Баданга, потому что если я попаду в контроль, я потом не улечу. Надо будет запрыгивать, когда Хуфра хотя бы шарик отдаст. То есть у нас расчет на команду идет, на командные игроки. Сейчас красный доберем. Я сразу на вазон, наверное, полечу. Никого нет, да? Так, видим обнаглевшую Виксану и видим Хуфру. Шар отдай. Бля. У меня, реклама Рокуфона 8 произошла, у меня игра вылетела. Сейчас надо синий забрать. У меня, рек сразу. Чё, гон на черепаху. Хуфра без шарика. В атаку, парни. Так, нормально, двоих забрали. Третьего не дотыкаем. О, Москва полегче. Ай-яй-яй-яй, ай, делаю. Пошел киберспорт. Ладно, я походу не добьем. Парни, ну конечно, тут надо... Бейте его. Куда он уходит? Это наш красный. Ладно, я ультану в него, все, отступаем. Пресс качать, беги делать на фане. Фармим дальше. Чтобы выиграть, надо фармить. Сейчас свой бот-лес заберу. Надеюсь, ты меня двойного не будешь забирать. Ага. Ого. А я без синего. Ладно, опасненько пока забирать. Ирка, живи. Ну, двойным можно пожертвовать, потому что у нас мисс-позиция. Будет неудобно драться, мы без дороги хилса. Отступить нажмем. Надо типами контролировать, чтобы файт без вас не начинает. Потому что вы самая фигура в начале на файне. Заберем баф. Потом по билду надо сапог на антиконтроль скорее собрать, чтобы с контроля выходить, если попадусь. Чтобы если была ошибка, то не фатальная. Так, бигит сделали. Вот этот пресс качать, не? Ну не, пресс не накачали, лоу хп хуфра. Надо бы сейчас пока лес подстелить, если мы сделали фраг. Но после топ-леса можно, в принципе, и будет и на голду выйти, думаю. Что-нибудь придумать. У меня сейчас топор дофармливается. И для большего дефа, после сапога, maybe, что соберу. Не знаю, надо подумать. Либо... Не, на голоде пока крипов нет. Можно синий подзабрать. Ладно. Ждем. Защищай. Опа, хорош. А смотрите, Хуфра держит шарик. Он уже, походу, преисполнился в этой игре. Он знает, что на меня надо шарик держать. Где Альфа? Альфа пока не видно. Так, ладно, у меня 2 бафа встает, когда я без синего лучше не драться. Но если он бьет черепаху, не бьет черепаху. Ну, можно помочь на миду даже без синего, думаю. Ну, сейчас на синий, потому что 100% фраг был, я залетел. По билду, наверное, удар охотник соберу, потом крову. На альфе кубро, прик. Не смогу, не могу. Давай, разворот, поворот. Красный заберем у Москвы 4К, значит надо Москву сейчас фокусить. Но там типы знают свой толк, навязывают файты. Сейчас базы отрегеним ману. Мы придем и поможем, на Ив бы не умереть с ником Ив. Но он умирает. Так, на топе суета должна быть. Также одна из плюсов файни — это сплит-пуш. Можно всегда сплитом заниматься. Не, ну давай без этого. Ну, команда нормально, делают минусы, значит эта игра не обречена. Просто в соло на фане можно выиграть только против пика без контроля. Но пока что фани 3, альфа 0. Выигрываем, сейчас надо синий подзабрать. Только у меня инфы нет, если у них синий, так бы я бы скорее на их сгонял. Проник тут скорее всего надо будет впилдить все равно. Потому что пик не тонкий. А с Москвой в лайте надо будет что-нибудь придумывать. Я на него не смогу садиться. Потому что контрпик как-никак лайтовой. Я на него не смогу садиться. Потому что контрпик как-никак лайтовой.
Kembali ke jalan utama. Mata hanya tertuju ke peringkat pertama. Ini saatnya Onyx mencari cincin
Долгожданная
yang
игра
kelima.
рэпер против Onyx. Индонезийский Onyx против рэпер. Нихуя себе. Если у вас турнир такой, как это турнир, тогда не зовите меня на свой турнир. RRQ Stasi.
kembali untuk merebut
Pagmano,
mereka.
pagmano.
The King
Badru RRQ Stasi. Itu mula.
Dragon.
Itu mula. Itu mana? Itu mereka mula. Dia luar nih.
From the ground to the skies where they belong.
Ini
Ladies
what?
and gentlemen,
What?
the
Ada itu.
Sky
Ini
Kings.
kalau ini Paparin. Nice, Blackpink.
We're here and we're all living for it, ladies and gentlemen.
Dah
Finally, the
berapa
grand
downloads
finals of
na
MPL
final
ID Season
MPL
15 live in Jakarta International Velodrome.
na
You can see the Sky
semuanya
Kings and the
Budin
Kings of Kings
смотреть
already marking
обозревать
their debut there up on stage
Оник
for
Индонезия
what we
проект
haven't seen in
RRQ Hoshi.
quite some time, the Royal Derby for the grand finals. Back with me, Eterna, as your desk host, alongside with Connie, Kolios, as well as Arashi. How are we feeling building up to this?
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Because
Very excited.
especially, it's the Royal Derby, right? Last season, RRQTLID. The previous season, it was Onyx and Evos. A different feel. It's always a different feel when it's me against you, Arashi.
It has to be, man. I mean, we are fighting for the title of king, my guy. This is a big deal. And I can't focus right now. I ran into... can I say it? I ran into someone important there earlier.
He's fangirling right now.
From RRQ. Man seems caught. From RRQ. Man seems caught.
At the pattern,
Patterns.
Onyx,
Patterns.
RRQ. So season 8 is Onyx, season 9 is RRQ, season 10 is RRQ. So after this, maybe
Onyx.
RRQ? Onyx, yep. Does Onyx RRQ, Onyx RRQ?
Ooh. I mean, that would benefit Arashi there.
Yeah. And speaking of patterns as well, we already broke the best of 7 curse just yesterday as well.
Okay.
So, and you have to remember, there was the whole issue about a lower bracket meta.
Okay.
How you're still on fire, you're still having the momentum from the previous match, whereas the guy on the upper bracket, they've been chilling. So, man, I can't really predict, but I'm feeling really good about this.
I'm going to triple down.
Ooh.
Triple down.
Pattern. Last year, Jakarta International Velodrome. Onyx lifts
The trophy?
the trophy, MPLID. So, yeah. Jakarta International Velodrome, it's our home.
Oh, okay. Those are big
Claim
words.
the whole stadium. Dang.
Claim the whole stadium. Exactly. But of course, that won't happen
We own this.
if Mr. Kescute, Big Brain,
Oh,
has anything to say about it, right? Because of course, looking at these two teams, other than the fact that they're already equipped with amazing players, of course, we gotta look at the people behind what's going on, right? The battle of the masterminds. On one side, we have Raja Yeba, and on the other side, we have Kescute and NMM, who up until this point has shocked a lot of people, not just regionally but internationally when it comes down to the drafts. Now, looking at the games and playoffs, it looks like Cascute or RRQ has played a lot more games, but it turns out in total unique heroes, they actually have the same equal amounts. Now, do you think that today we'll be seeing new debut picks or profit picks from both of these two teams?
I feel like hidden strategies we won't really see too much, but if a particular draft has a unique and unusual solution, I believe both these coaches are very willing to just go with the unexplored, go off the the beaten path, and just go for something that we haven't seen so far. So considering the drafting game is going to be so important here, with both of them so adept, I think it's going to be really good. And I really like that they aren't really going with the same strategy, as in, okay, one hero in the jungle is surprising, but like everyone is on the same page. One of them, Coach Jeff, is going with the Julian. The other, Keskute, going with the Yisun Shin. So they're finding different picks that suits their players, and I feel like that's a great route to go.
Hey, for me personally, if you are talking about the Coach Yap and Cascute, I can say they are Einstein.
Ooh, Einstein.
Yeah, because I think both of them are very consistently going through the upper bracket every playoff. Like Cascute, he is when he is coaching Bigatron. Yeah, he goes to the upper bracket, and now RRQ.
Out of my way, small fries! Even if his hands and feet were tied together, you still couldn't kill Garp! Leave this to me. Ice!
And
right? Edok and Rins have been a part of last season. They were able to make it to the grand finals too, but they're not as equipped when it comes down to the experience if we compare it to the opposite side mid trio. With this glaring difference, is there something else that we should
Добро
look at to
пожаловать.
differentiate these two?
I think most
Сегодня
of the Indonesia
меня,
audience
короче,
know how
сегодня
Irisa and
смотрим
Boy
Антал,
perform,
Индонезия,
how
сезон
carry
15.
they perform it. But I think for
Всем привет. Всем салам алейкум.
Edok and Riz, they are always improving. Like for example, when I saw the first game against Geek Farm yesterday, that my thought is like, oh my god, are RRQ going to lose? Are they not gonna make it to the grand final? But they got improved on the second game until the last game. So right now, I think the three of them have the biggest chance to show, to prove they are the best trio meet on Indonesia right now.
Because last
Состав. Состав Оников индонезианский, Лесник Карл Пизи и Кари. Бля, что за хуйня, бля? Лесник Кари, Ромер, Кибой, Мид, Санс, Эксповик у нас Лутпи и на голде Сэмфорд. И РРК Хоши, состав РРК Хоши, Сучисин, Ромер Идоко, и Мидер Райнс, Эксповик у нас Райн и Голд это ее.
Everyone from there, but yeah, I do agree, man. With the rookies, there's just so much more potential for growth, and the fluidity, right? The experience gives you understanding on how to react to certain plays. But being a rookie allows you to kind of adapt faster in a sense that you're not really set in when it comes to the habits, when it comes to the
Кто,
preconceived
как
notions.
думает, кто
So
будет
I
ли
could
сегодня
you can,
будет
you can kind of like
побеждать на МПЛ?
assume that in yesterday's match, that's what happened,
Кто
right?
будет побеждать?
Neither
Кто
team,
как
they
думает?
kind of got a read on
Скажите,
how Geek Fam were playing, and
в
that's why
комментариях.
initially it looked so tough. But once they kind of figured out Geek Fam, they just went all the way with it. So I think Onyx are going to be a bit more complex than Geek Fam, but the same kind of mindset can be applied by RRQ today.
Now, I like that you mentioned that because a lot of people have had concerns
Драфт.
regarding
Пик
RRQ
начинается у нас.
and their lackluster
О,
ability when
долгожданный
things
драфт.
don't go according to their plan from the early game. So as we're getting into the drafts, ladies and gentlemen, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S25 series, do you think that that problem has been solved, Coleus? Do you think that RRQ are now better in the late game when things don't go according to their plan?
I think I cannot answer that until we see it.
Редко банит
Because
Фанни,
last
Паша,
time
Они
they got baited by the
отвечает
Kaiki game from
Джосин
Onyx, right?
и
And for the drop itself,
их
the
забанили.
execution is not very well for RRQ.
Редко
That's why
забанили
this was the grand
Паша,
final.
их
So
по
they need
мною
to go all
играет
out, go big or go
и
home.
Фанни.
Alright, so these are proving grounds now. Looks like the bans are
Onyx
coming through
и
real quick
отвечает
here. Ladies and gentlemen,
Джосин,
RRQ on blue side, Onyx on the
Chip
red.
и
Fanny, Farsa,
конкретно.
Eve banned
Кто
out.
забанил?
Onyx, go for the chip and the
С
Jushin
кем
that
будут
will not
играть?
see the light of day in this match.
So they battle with the
Вот,
Farsa and the
собственно,
Eve.
ну,
Kind
попал
of limit
тоже
size impact
много
on those
людей.
artillery picks,
Ван
but
забанили,
Surf
Ван.
isn't really known only for playing these long-range heroes. So the fact that they are focused so much only on those mages. Oh, I thought they wouldn't go for the Loyi, but they do. So now that's why they were confident in just limiting all the other mid
Лови забирается, сам Бадан
Amazing, right? RRQ,
запрятался.
they are
Многих
asking a question here.
вторых
Onyx,
там
in
были.
this similar approach against Geek, they went
Ари,
Baksha and came in, but
Сильно
it's a totally
и Бадан.
different situation. Onyx, they know that the Harith is too expensive to be let go of. It seems like they will lock in the Kalia as well. It's open.
Харик синий.
It's a different ball game now.
Kalia.
RRQ. Will they go for the Baksha? They will.
Бакси.
Yeah, because Kalia itself is like a C9 pick for Luoyi, right? Combo Kalia Luoyi is similar with Kalia Kaja. Sorry, Luoyi Kaja. The pick-off combo that can be used by RRQ. That's why they deny using the Kalia. But now, the Baxia and Moskov, they want to play like the team fight game, but the Moskov can do the split push.
And they want to make sure that they have rotations across the map. Remember, the diversion now is not only for
Yeah,
going for
funny,
pickoffs,
but
for going
then-
for ganks, it's also to rotate around the map and have that pressure. Compositions that used to fail because they are too slow in moving around and clearing waves can now be enabled by this low Yi. So depending on how RRQ want to play this, they have that option to even carry it all the way to the late game. But with the Baksha, I think we can expect RRQ to go full on
Blue,
and fight
Blue
for the first
заиграет.
turtle. There seems to be
Из-за
the idea
войны,
that they
скорее
really
всего,
like
поет.
doing.
О,
But
ты
with only having
там,
the Korea
всякие
and Glue, there's plenty of fighting power and
интуиции
sustain built in
пользуются,
for now.
потому что
I like the early game. I think
лейт
you're
палец
right. First hurdle will
победитель.
be,
Раз
for
будет
now, with the glue
играть
pick,
палец
at
такой,
least
я
it's going to
думаю,
be tough for RRQ. I think
или
Onyx,
под
they
низу.
are going to draft themselves, especially the last two picks. They want to
А,
have
он
an
ведь палец не
okay
может
early
пройти.
game, where the mid
А,
lane,
нет,
they
нет.
rely more
Да,
on
вот,
towards the
на
Harris.
палец.
Naruto, or at
И
least
что
Lucas will be
такое?
banned out here. Onyx seems like they will,
Что можно
they are
добавить?
still sniffing that, hey, Baksha,
Если
still a
какой-нибудь, а вот будет
Franco
добавить
Indok is
палец
still
не
there,
играет,
but from the first
Редко палец не
on
играет,
RRQ,
я
I think
думаю,
map control is the key.
и Оник
Because Loyi and
ответит,
Moskov, if they
какой бан.
got the map control, they can like make Onyx
Лестница.
very
Oh!
like his sunset.
Лестница,
It's a
бан,
respect bad
нифига
for
себе.
Sunset.
Это,
Yes, sir. They have
скорее
forced out a
всего,
respect Yi Sun Shin
какой
ban
не
in season
заготовка
15.
Лисельсин.
Even though initially that pick was heavily doubted. Now, you can see that Sunset
Потому
is
что
running out of
сует
options. Onyx are trying to
моих
make sure
героев.
that Baksha indeed does go into the hands of Sunset.
Они не
They don't want to
взяли
give it any
леску.
kind of other
Кого там?
possibilities. Kesuke might be
А,
trying to
Акси же
do by
лесник, они
misleading them
вроде,
with the idea.
или
But
что
Onyx
это
themselves are
все,
betting
я
with
не
jungles
понимаю.
too, so they seem to be pretty confident that they can put this in Sunset and still have great time in the early game.
Because we're still looking at
Так,
different
тут
heroes,
такой
right, from Kyrie. He's
способности.
pulled up the Kaja
Тема.
once. You think that's an option that they can go for here?
Если сейчас не забанить или
with
нет,
this
да,
composition,
забанили
I
или
feel
нет.
like it's okay,
Нет, нет,
but I don't
что
really
можно
like
есть?
the
Что
Kaja.
нет?
I feel like there are other options.
Okay, what are we looking
Zas,
at? Export,
Zas, Zas.
Alpha,
Joy is open.
Joy.
If Kyrie wants to use the assassin, because Kaja, I think it's a very situational. Last time they used Kaja is because T-Boy using chips or Suns having the Luoyi.
Okay.
Because it's a combo.
No,
But
but,
right now, Luoyi is
no,
on
I don't
RNG
know
side.
it.
That's why I think
No,
Kaja,
no,
jungler for
no.
Onyx is very hard situation right now. Yeah.
Nobody
Okay.
knows
Yeah,
it.
and honestly, they don't have enough like follow-up, enough damage to follow up on a Divine Judgment.
It's fine.
Sana, after a long time, dipping away from the meta, finally back at it here. In line with the whole team fight idea,
There is
Nara
one.
Q, almost a signature pick
Joy
for
there is
Tyrant,
one.
and Sutsujin on the Joy, something that Onyx
So
prefer
far
over the
this week, I mean,
Yusujin, so I
that's
assume they have a
that's
plan for this, unless they really believe with the Kalia alone, they can stop Sutsujin's play
Yeah.
across the map.
So this is a big thing, right? Because
Sure,
technically,
okay.
against the Joy, would you pick the Fredrin?
Suyo, Suyo.
No. But
Yeah,
now,
man.
I think it
Well,
opens
stop
avenue for
watching
that Kaja
Suyo,
pick. I think
man,
now,
it's
it's
wasn't
not
good.
a bad pick, right? With the terrorism and the Joy
Good.
showed.
Once more, Карл, Кизи, взял Вансу, вот
Yep,
это
that is
заготовка.
bold. Both statements coming in from
Салам
both
алейкум,
teams as we're going to
заготовки
get
пошли.
into our first game in this best of 7.
Потому что
Masters, take it away.
Суё был открыт, они
A
решили взять
rematch of the Royal
That's
Derby
all.
here. A fallen king
Let's go.
looking to restore their kingdom.
Не
And the
знаю,
descendant,
как
now
вы
descendant
играете.
Sky Kings, looking to again ascend to the celestial skies. Welcome to the grand finals of MPL ID Season 15. It has been realized and Mirko.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the caster desk
Какой
here.
пик
We
вам
will both
больше
be accompanying
нравится?
you
Мне
throughout
честно
this
сказать,
hopefully full best of 7 series between the Kings of
пик
Kings and the
РРК,
Sky Kings. Just in a bit, we'll be getting into the land of Dawn, but what do you think about the drafts?
The Vexana pickup and the Lancelot, a Kyrie special. It was
бля,
used,
у вас
I
вот на
think, quite
Карл
some time
Кизи.
for Kyrie, but I think it was
И
forced
Карри
into the
на вас
Lancelot pick as
вот.
well.
Yeah. Again, the Yushin ban, shot the
Сложно
Link ban as
что-то
well.
сказать.
The fact is, right
Посмотрим,
now,
что
if you don't get
получится.
damage dealing in the mid lane, it
Вот
usually
пик
gets
мне
kind of
больше
tough.
нравится.
Really good angle of attack by RRQ. They ban out
Бля,
Farsa and
равный.
Eve. They pick the Lo Yi away.
Yeah,
so
Lo
it kind
Yi.
of force Sans on a pick that
Лови басит.
is
Ну,
utility. You
Джой
don't want that on
опасный.
Sans.
You do not want that
Nice,
Vexana
man.
pick on him, but
I'm
here we
telling you.
go to the land of Dawn.
Как тут
Game
РРК
number 1
больше
in this
шансов.
grand finals
Не,
best
он,
of
это
7 of
Оника.
MPLID Season 15.
Whoa, whoa.
Я
Welcome.
думаю, что это
Right off the bat.
РРК против Оник.
Early win for the Vexana.
Yeah,
I haven't
but-
seen the Vexana in quite a while. Just because, you know, obviously there usually are better picks in the first phase, but it's also strange to
Ну,
think
Джоя
that
больше
finally now we're seeing Onyx utilize more of the last pick Lancelots, the last pick junglers. We've really just been seeing, especially when the Hayabusa is open. Kyrie pick it up, eat off already. Stopping Kyrie. Oh, Spear of Misery.
Oh,
Icon last
Kyrie,
spot has the
Kyrie,
red
Kyrie.
tree. Secures it.
Много.
The pressure early on by RRQ. That was actually a coincidence as well. Toy was in the neighborhood where Kyrie was taken down to an
Джой
instant. Now,
четверка.
this Marcia pick. At first I
Так
thought it was going to go
много.
to Tutsujin, but then flex onto Edoc. As T-Boy wants to look to advance towards Tutsujin, but no. Tutsujin will just pull away. But the
У
question
Джоя
is,
есть
will this
не
Vexana pick
двойной,
be
а
enough to
хватит
stop the
такие
advances of the
двойные.
Joy and the Baxia?
So far, it has looked quite enough. Look at that
Just
damage.
a
Trading in the
bad
mid lane has
one.
never been so easy for Sans. Curse
No,
blast
no,
landing
no,
on
no.
Rins. And Sans spacing has been phenomenal this game. I don't think he's gotten hit by a single dispersion, rotate, no yin-yang reactions. He just walked away from it pixel perfect.
At least he's able to survive the early game and the early burst coming in from the Lo Yi. Not yet level 4, so no Eternal Guard. That might help him in the engages. Tyrant is here. Sutsujin comes in as well.
Good terrify. Sutsujin
Всё,
coming in.
всё
Onto my beats.
захвачено
Already popped by
нужно.
Sutsujin. Keyboy taken off the wall by Edoc.
Четверка
This
есть.
turtle fight will be very, very important. Sans,
Keyboy будет
flickerless,
получать
no
четверка
flickers.
на
That is information. And a very,
А
very
в
expensive
российской
battle spell.
команде
Kyrie
же
close by as well. Look, base
четверка
foot
есть,
split.
а
Puncture
никто,
in,
наверное,
Tyrant still in the front
особо
penalty zone coming in with a puncture as well. Looking for the flicker forward, able to get Rins. Now
Yeah,
Keyboy
so
looking for the
fast.
tsunami slam, will be able to find it, but Rins is the
Yeah,
one who secures it
nah,
in the back line. Kyrie
but
has the
that's
puncture
not-
defensively as the rest of the
Просто
team
смог
looks to back away.
за
Hoist
он
Sans,
смог
Keyboy
3 раза
flickering
ставить.
back a win for the
Ладно.
Kings.
Well, that is RRQ getting the turtle as well. They were unable to kill Kyrie in the very first altercation, but at least Dyron is spacing him out, and Kyrie is not given the space to play as the Lancelot. I mean, sure, you would argue that Lancelot is a mobile assassin, so much escape mechanism, so much potential of possibly contesting that objective, that neutral objective, steal it or just take it straight away. But as of now, RRQ, they have one mission in hand, and that is to screen Kyrie out of that possibility. Manathon predictions by the new application, go pay. You know, it's a split of both.
Yeah. Is it a fair split? Oh, it's actually in favor of Onyx. We got 4-2 only. Arashi and Colius have gone for RRQ. I wonder what the Indo desk thinks, because we have a different one. Eternal Guard landing. Rinse knocked up. B-Boy. They're going to go for it again. Tsunami Sniper purified out by Rinse. No fight.
My turn, but as of now, that's a purify blown out. So maybe if Onyx, they really want to gesture again against RRQ, that is a possibility. But Sutsujin might look for the engage. E-Doc rolling in. Not the best playmaking hero we would see from E-Doc. But as of now, he's doing very well screening. Lutfi fighting the damage.
Damage on Lutfi. Penalty zone by Dyron. Keyboy got the crossfires. Purple buff should be taken. Diversion into the top side. Kyrie looking for the play again. Thorn Rose and Puncture defensively as Sutsujin gets even more pressure. Reset. It's all RRQ. The macro advantage as well, right, with the diversion. So much angles open. Severo might be hanging meat now for RRQ, but he has that dash. Shield him away from the possibilities of a dive. Now let's take a look at Onyx WinCon. I think so far they can rely on Sans early on with the Eternal Guard, but as of now, it's up to Kyrie to funnel the gold onto himself, because his Lancelot has to go online. A couple of kills might do it, but RRQ, they're not giving the space for Onyx to do just that. Now he's gonna give space to Kai to go for trades. Toy sent to the bottom lane again. RRQ are the ones who are holding the neutral objective. Keyboy, look at the play. Tsunami's time, able to find him. No purify just yet. Now cracks the execution. There's Thorn Rose. Rinsing down by Sans. Down the back line. It's gonna be Sutsujin jumping to find beat. Toy landing the SOD. Severo still with synchro vision. Constantly jumping around with the chrono dashes, forcing the revitalize. Keyboy getting position. Sutsujin, 2 dashes, no ultimate. Onyx recover, and now will secure a turtle. But look at the trade by Toy.
Roll in. E-Doc. No slay, rather no steal whatsoever happening, and down bottom Toy off stream, able to get a turret for himself, so RRQ at least able to get a cross-map trade and make things even in the hands of both sides. As of now though, it's RRQ still with a gold lead, 1.3k, and they will always have that ever-present segue, you know, side lane pressure in the hands of the Moskov, plus the Luo Yi, enabling them to get rotations either to the back or even down bottom, push out the waves. And as of now for Onyx, their only response to that side lane is this Lancelot.
This is so value for RRQ. Like you mentioned, Onyx can't really deal with the side lane pressure, especially when we get into the late game. The fact that RRQ are now the ones leading with the Moskov, who should by all means, I think, be bullied a bit more in the early game by Onyx. He's going to scale up to be a monster. Good damage by Rinz on Sans. And you can see Onyx already start to rotate up top. Later on though, Onyx, the way they win is through a big team fight. RRQ can deny those team fights. They have diversions. They have the Moskov obviously with the SODs. That global presence is so good for them to capitalize on Onyx's very one-dimensional team fight style.
And Onyx needs to scout those diversion plays as well, right? They need to scout the teleport. So Kyrie, Thorn Rose able to dodge that kill shot. As of now, it's Onyx still holding to their ground. And look at the rotations made from RRQ. Dyron already, you know, preparing himself for fighting. But the audience prediction now, with the new application, go pay 62% favoring RRQ. Hoshi.
It's as usual here, ladies and gentlemen, in Indonesia. Wherever you go, whichever venue, stadium, it's a home ground advantage for RRQ. The Kingdom go wherever the players go. Sometimes even without the players, they still wear that RRQ jersey everywhere.
Everywhere, anywhere. It's a culture for them. And now it's up to Onyx to get this objective.
Москва еще один сложный,
Possibly having even more than one item. But RRQ, they want to fight this. Savero is nearby. Toy just went with the SOD, so that is a possibility. But Sujin comes close, and they will try to contest this.
Reset. Keyboy with the jump already. Now Kyrie with the fast execution. And Rose flipping forward for the rest of the team on the follow. Rins again, able to escape. Now in the back as well. Kyrie able to go for the puncture and Thorn Roach for a bit of hope. Sujin. Electrifying beast.
Ой, Джой, ошибка.
Comes in with the toy. SOD land. Sujin falling. Toy still up top of the farm. Kai gets another. Siren Sujin down. Toy up top. Kai jumps in with the puncture.
Что делать? Что делать на каре? Что делать? Ой, бля, разъебали, просто разъебали.
And Kyrie's tail, a cold assassin. But that was Keyboy
Жестко,
as his
жестко.
wingman. And up top though, always pushing for RRQ. So at least they have that value. But still, Onyx, they swing it to themselves. And that orange buff for Kyrie too.
RQ have to play way slower. Again, they have that global presence. They have someone in the side. They cannot be reeled in to a battle like that. Remember, Onyx, they're the better team fight comp. They have so much CC overloading even Sujin.
But at least with the SOD, right? Even if it hits and it's not favorable for you to take the fight, you can still push up top. You can still make that side push happen. Kyrie sustained might be a possibility.
Shield Unity. Oh, Kai again up against 4, no problem. This gets away, makes it look so easy. A trade though, but it's only a tier 1. RRQ definitely getting the value out of that.
Well known to make the escapes, and that is just him not breaking any sweat. At least Edoc is able to, you know, exert the pressure to keep on pushing. And Sans gets that Blood Wings extra defensive, you know, tool for him. With that extra shielding, but Swift Trinity by Toy with the 3 items, he's ready to just join the fights. But again, side lane so far has been his priority. Keyboy Tsunami Slam.
Lockdown all in from Onyx. The Mercenary has been dealt with. Savero in the mid lane all alone up against Rinzo, jumps in again. Revive. Tyron goes in. Savero all alone. Now the SOD lands again, but it's only going to be a tier 2 as Keyboy collapses. And Onyx will find him mounted on Phantom Execution. Kai just does not miss on this lance.
The Sky Kings roar in game number 1. That was Savero in the back line looking for Rins, but Kyrie and the others followed suit. Tyron, that is not what we expected from him. The penalty zone did not penalize any of the Onyx members, and now they have that Lord for themselves. Up top, still pushing for side of RRQ Hoshi, but at least Onyx, they're able to stabilize everything.
That was mad disrespectful. Realize. Penalty zoning, Bigatron's trophy cabinet.
Hey! Don't do him dirty like that.
Anyway, Toy, that's pretty good now. Despite again not being able to win there, he's 0-0-0. He's still playing really well. He's getting closer to the item power spike. Now, technically the 3-item power spike is what you're waiting for, but against a composition like this, I'd say Rose Gold Meteor is probably when you can finally start battling out. But just as I mentioned, now Savero gets Holy Crystal. Big power spike.
Even POD for Kyrie, so at least that adds his damage even more. But now the real-time victory rate presented by the official Sonos smartphone Samsung Galaxy S25 series is 64% for Onyx. Tsunami Slam though.
Again, over to Edoc this time with Revitalize, still able to survive the poison still. Limpy brought back by the Yin Yang reaction. Lord dealing with the tier 2 in the mid lane. Good wave management by RRQ. They keep their losses at a minimum.
They hold it.
At
least they're able to stabilize everything again. It's up to RRQ to activate the side lanes. Talking about high ground defense, and I know just holding their base together as to not be torn apart. I think they have that power in the hands of Toy. Rose Gold purchased as well, so at least extra protection. Oh, diversion flank play only to send Dyran, but Edoc is here as well, scouting. At least that's one thing that RRQ can nurture, that information from Edoc constantly rolling towards Onyx, but they need to know that Onyx is ready to bounce back.
The penalty zone. That's a big resource used already, but they are happy with that. RRQ, remember, even though they used 2 ults there to get into position. Boy! Oh, what a ring! Eternal Guard from Sans. Sutsujin 3 times, red like a book by the boy. Look beyond Diamond, a flicker back again. Look, he has the flicker, but he won't utilize it. cutting the wave up
All
top.
this
Boy, his spidey
Как он,
senses
бля,
were
не
tingling.
может
He was able to get that
чтоб
Sujin lockdown, Tsunami Slam
как
onto
он,
the
бля,
Eternal Guard. And I think that's another
колея
synergy we can talk about,
подпустит
Miracle. Tsunami Slam, Eternal Guard. So it's basically you getting knocked up to get knocked
Его
up
не
again.
было слегка
That lockdown is still there.
Типа
But the
он
question is,
вторая
can Onyx
голова
burst
и
down the
все
targets
султана.
as quick as possible? With the Lancelot, that might be feasible. With Harith as well, that is a possibility. So RRQ now. What do
Два
they do?
катера фарма
Because
на
Tsunami Slam is
12
going to be
минут, а
the
потом
main
со временем
objective for
игры
Onyx. They
сильные,
have to be able to
оба
peel themselves
команды
back,
сильные игроки,
distance
просто
themselves from
пока
Onyx.
что
Now,
он
Sujin, 1, 2,
перекликивает
3, Swins, same stat as
по
well.
макро
They're
и
struggling.
по микро
They really are.
перекликивает.
It's going to be tougher as we get towards, I'd say, 15 minutes. Again, we were talking about the late game possibility for RRQ, but now I gotta dial it back a bit. RRQ have just not been able to utilize it as much. I think they're really
Москва
scared of
пока
that
0,
AOE-CC chain of Onyx. They can bait up Purifies like it's nothing, so Toy has to be extra careful. That's why they lost Cryo even in the side lanes. High level 15, the Mercenary very close as well. Puncture coming down now. Edok gonna be caught. Phantom execution over to the Lord. Diamond gonna be caught again with the Eternal Guard. And slow. SOD doesn't land. Sujin caught in the bad spot. Has to try and beat it now. Savero!
That goes for the assassination. Savero goes for more. The double kill connects. Lutpi in the back, just harnessing the power. Dyren melted up.
What can he do? Terrified now. The Curse Blast coming down as well. Oh, they're toying with Dyren at this point. 5 members, good penalty zone. But what is it for? It was a desperate attempt to survive.
Season 12. Dyren with the solo hold. Penalty zone 5 men. But this time, it's a different era. Onyx, they might be marching for the base. Looking for the siege as well. RRQ. Can they hold this? The Lord respawn. Pushing forward to get that inner inhibitor.
Почти половина.
You saw that damage, Thorn Rose.
Это почти.
That's why it's difficult for Toy.
Если
You want Thorn Rose
какой-нибудь
go be here to
самый
deal with a lot of the damage, magic damage dealers. But then there's Kai on the lance, a signature pick. Edo. Uh-oh. Shield Unity already used it. Back Kimoy! Fighting pick with the Eternal Guard now. Dive with penalty zone into the back line. Sujin. Look at the play. Savero still with the Chrono dashes. Able to cut away. Lord is out already. Good P running away. Toy with the chase again. One base turret, that's it.
1-for-1 trade. It's Zyra and Keyboy both down. At least RRQ are still able to hold their base. And now it's up to Toy to wave clear all the minions coming in towards their base. But that was actually a well-executed team fight by Onyx. They had their targets in their hands. The Tsunami Slam connected. But RRQ with the splash of damage that was underestimated by Onyx. The burst connected. With Sujin with the joy, Prince contributing as well to that damage, and Toy just doing his own thing with the Moskov, passively poking the players of Onyx with that passive in the Moskov.
Very tough for RRQ at this point. They've lost a base turret in the mid lane. That means full cryo for Onyx. They gotta deal with the side lane somehow. They gotta be confident enough that they can beat some of the Onyx members that will be sent down below. But it is tough, again. Just because you're kind of forced to go either rose gold or win, right? Maybe if he sells boots next, he'll get win in nature, but he kind of needs the mobility too. Up against a composition like this. Kai with a Thorn Rose over the Toy. Great punctures in, man. And Retri. Thorn Rose. Bounce it on. Edok brought back to the team. Samara walks up as well. Revitalized already with the Poissons. Look, P gets off.
They stabilize. And it's heal play. They might look for another military play. Diversion connects. Where's the backup?
What a read from Kila Sans. Now Tsunami slams Savero! Again, now flipping back to Sujin. Pops in electrifying beats. Onyx wanna go for it. Now finding the wall, Keyboy Toy! He's there waiting the entire game just for Onyx to all in on him. Now it's only the Mercenary left.
The Mercenary. Looking at the broken castle walls, Onyx might punch for the end. The crystal is exposed. It's only up to Sujin.
Onyx with a statement game one, 17-3, 6.4k gold lead.
Один ноль. Как-то они слишком
Realize from the ground to the skies where they belong.
Вначале
Slowly
что-то
but surely,
показывали, но
we're not just seeing glimpses of that prime Onyx season 11, 12, and 13. read from Gila Suns. Now Tsunami slide. Sabado! Again, now flip it back to Tsujin. Pop. Electrifying beats. Onyx, go for it. Now finding the wall key. Oi, toy! He's dead. Waiting the entire game just for Onyx to all in on. And now it's only the mercenary left.
The mercenary looking at the broken castle walls. Onyx might punch for the end. The crystal is exposed. It's only up to Sutsujin.
Алло, алло. Алло, алло. Алло, алло. Алло, алло. Здорово, здорово. Алло, алло. Здорово, здорово.
And 42 seconds. Let's break this down just a little bit more, right? Because for the entirety of the playoffs, we've been talking about utility mid laners, how it's not really a thing, but the Vexana seems like it really works well with Onyx playstyle.
Yeah, because I think with Vexana, they can stop Sophia or even like Wings when he do the diversion. But for this particular game, I think RQ got the early game. They got the 2k gold leads, but the problem is like the decision from Sutsujin. Yeah, several times Sutsujin brings a lot of bad things for his teams. Like it brings the winning momentum
Like
for
this
Onyx.
moment?
Yeah, like when he opened the when he wants to go for the portable buff, or when he tried to chase the
how it is unfolding, he made that split-second call to just go in, make the play happen, and even with the purifies on the hands of the RRQ backline, he was just so active and so frequent. Purify is almost never up, never available.
See, those moments would never have happened if not the follow-up coming through, right? Because for the first few moments that he gets the slam coming through from the Kalea, the follow-up from Kyrie is instant. In that moment with the diversion, the follow-up coming from Savero was so instant. So it seems like the Sky Kings are always on the same page, which is quite scary because we can't really say the same for RRQ in that game.
They're united. Onyx united, and I think it's official in the playoff run. Onyx has always drew first blood in their series. So Well, yeah, it's not new, but let's see if RRQ can come back from this. Because 16 minutes, it wasn't fast, but it's a convincing win still overall from Onyx.
That's why for RRQ, I think they need to discuss about the risk management, because a lot of things that what RRQ do since yesterday or even the first day, uh, the risk calculation is not too mature.
Yeah.
A bit premature, a bit hasty almost.
Yeah.
I really feels like that they were trying to play more for Toy here. You saw that even though Suzujin was falling victim to a lot of the plays, Toy was still farming up a storm, was actually #1 in the gold standings all the way until the mid game still. But unfortunately afterwards, right, with the presence of the glue of the Lancelot as well as having a Harith on Savero, there's so many ways for Onyx to dive in and make sure that Moskov has no safety zone to actually stand there and do that damage. So even if he has full items, it just wasn't safe enough, especially with their front lines all being kind of divey front lines. No one there is actually catered to try and protect Toy from the dive coming in from Onyx. And even on the other hand, if RRQ wants to use their game plan and dive with the Baksha, Terizla, and Joy, this is where the Vexana comes in. Just like that, one Terrify becomes a 3-man Terrify, becomes a
Eternal's Guard.
Eternal Guard, and that's the end of it, right? With the AoE coming in, the Golden also does AoE damage for Onyx. So that makes RRQ's hands really tied. So unless they really find some really value diversion plays, they weren't really able to win any fight outright unless they do something special. And unfortunately, Onyx, they know how to play that low Yi as well. They read through most of the diversions, and just like that, slowly but surely RRQ get grinded down.
So what needs to be changed here?
The
So
game
they built
plan
up
itself.
So the game plan from the drafts, were the drafts okay to you guys?
The draft, if it's working, it's okay. But RRQ is, for example, here, Sans can change his gameplay. Usually he's shining using the mid laner as a mid laner.
Yeah.
But right now he's using the utility mid lane like Vexana. He's playing like a shadow. He didn't want like the opponent to see Sans, but when the times come, Sans will be there.
Right.
Okay.
Not to mention having the Vexana, we can say it's a utility mid laner, but it still does a ton of damage, man. So it's almost like, even though Mirko was saying utility sucks, well, Vexana kind of does both. So this is one of those heroes that really fits this particular need here. They need damage, they need some utility as well, and of course Coach M finds something that slots right in there.
But of course, after game number 1, we're still looking at MSC. That's, on the horizon. So let's get to the MSC battle plan here with our first poster, the Sky King era generation. Will the third generation be able to continue that legacy? Onyx Gen 1, obviously everyone knows the Onyx Kage era, right? Trophy in 2019. Onyx Gen 2, the golden era from Onyx with, obviously Boots still in the lineup. But now, we're missing CW, we're missing Boots. We have Savero and Lutfi. What do you guys think about this question?
Oh man, what do you think, Julius? Because I recall we were all talking about, me and Shevin, I believe, we were talking that we prefer the golden era, and Julius comes out with like the Kage era, bro. So what do you think about this comparison?
I think, if we are talking about the Kage era, no one can beat them. On their prime time, but regular season on the MSC. But right now, it's with Lutfi, with Savero, young blood, who can make a new vibes on the team. So they have a new goals to be set. That's why on this MSC, it's time for them to prove to the world that even they have a new generation, even they have 3 generations, they're still on the top performance.
Look, regardless of whether we want them to have a really good performance, regardless of them bringing the new vibe, the question is it enough? Right? Because the representatives from all the other regions, they're looking really strong and really tough as well. Take MPLH, for example. TLPH are comprised of a lineup of veterans. Huge experience, championship mentality. Can new bloods like Lutfi and Savero be able to create change?
For me, it's never enough,
Ooh.
Most they have a chance, right? With SRG last year winning it, I think that opens a lot of opportunities for other teams, the young bloods, the new faces, to perhaps win MSC. Same story here. Sure, Savero, Lutfi, new at MSC, but I feel like they still are top tier, I feel.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't matter if you are veteran or even you are the young blood. Because adaptability is the key to winning the MSC.
Okay.
Although we know adaptability comes with sometimes having experience allows you to have a better adaptability as well. Which is why I believe shout out to Midnight who peeked over here earlier. He was saying that hey, Onyx is great right now, but there are some moments where you can pinpoint Severo sometimes having a lapse of judgment, which is he's only human, right? But compared to the veteran trio, right, Severo really isn't as clean just yet. So that stands to be one of the things that Onyx have to kind of iron out, have to kind of let Severo catch up to the rest of the team in order for them to have a full-on balanced 5-man gameplay. Because in the highest level, dude, one person having the wrong idea, not on the same page, that could be catastrophic.
Yeah, it breaks games, it breaks momentum, and those things are definitely huge when it comes down to the international landscape. Because Severo, he's looking at veterans, right? Oheb, Halra.
Ooh.
Like, these are not unfamiliar names. These are legends coming into MSC. That's pressure.
A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. So, you know what? I think just take it step by step.
Step by step.
MSC is definitely ahead of them. But, you know, Severo can mold his experience from now. Game 1, solid. I feel like he was... yeah, just displayed a excellent Harith. I think he was deathless that game, untouched. So again, slowly but surely, step by step.
He was deathless. So, of course, before we get into game number 2, we are gonna throw it over to the stage. I believe with Bude Clara Monster. So take it away.
Di tengah-tengah Jakarta International Velodrome, ketegangan dari kedua super fans bisa terasa. Namun, kalau ngelihat dari match hari ini kayaknya yang paling was-was, yang paling dark-dikdukser juga adalah dua orang dalam dari kedua tim. Ada Mars dan juga Viel.
Halo semua. Halo, halo.
Waduh, sekarang aktif sekali ya untuk menyuarakan. Kalau dari Viel, yang aktif banget sebenarnya mau narik-narik kamu banyak loh di sini.
Apa itu?
Itu, di situ. Banyak yang bilang, no Viel.
Ya, hari ini kita patahkan lah. Semoga ya. Dia nggak boleh interview ya katanya ya?
Nggak boleh.
Iya. Bagus
ini
dong
sebenarnya Kingdom udah pada panik ini Bude di sebelah sini, nggak ngerti Bude.
Makanya.
Iya.
Ini udah pada yang pengen narik Viel aja. Tapi kata Mars happy ya kalau Viel diwawancara ya.
Ini sebenarnya gue yang narik.
Oh gitu ya?
Iya.
Benar.
Ini strategi dari Mars.
Strategi nih.
Dia sampai sekarang masih mau adu strategi aja Bude, nggak tahu kenapa ini Mars.
Itu sudah 5 season lalu.
Dari season 8 sampai 10 ya kita ya?
10.
3 season kalian mengadu satu sama lain dan sekarang kalian nonton untuk mendukung tim yang masih yang sama nih. Kalau ngelihat di season 15, gimana? Pas lagi ngedukung kalau buat Viel kayaknya senyum terus ya?
Nggak juga sih, sebenarnya mau apapun yang terjadi itu ternyata lebih deg-degan nonton daripada ada di backstage ya.
Oh ini hal yang
nonton tuh lebih kalau Mars nggak tahu ya, soalnya kan dia sekarang udah head.
Nggak gitu.
Saya tahu lah ya.
Benar, itu setiap udah nonton itu pasti jauh, deg-degannya jauh banget.
Jauh lebih deg-degan, tapi kalau untuk masalah deg-degan, ini jantung Mars yang harus diperiksa karena Onyx kan naik turun banget nih. Kalau liatin dari performa Onyx di babak playoff ini, sebagai orang dalam, kasih tahu kita, sebenarnya apa yang terjadi di Onyx sampai babak playoff ini, mode Onyx tuh beda banget Mars.
Ya dari yang kita awal yang pas #9 itu ya banyak lah yang kita evaluasi gitu loh. Bukan cuma dari sisi in-game, bahkan dari sisi out-game, dan bahkan juga dari sisi manajemen juga kita evaluasi apa yang kita butuhin buat support mereka. Dan sampai titik inilah gitu loh. Jadi semuanya pada tryhard sih.
Tapi ada vibes yang berbeda gak sih dari anak-anak juga yang Mars mungkin bisa ngelihat, bisa langsung di-mention gitu. Sebelumnya terlihat lesu, sekarang semangat atau ada hal yang benar-benar bisa di-share?
Itu sebenarnya salah satu pertama yang kita benerin sih dari vibes-nya itulah. Karena ya namanya kalah kan pasti nggak ada yang suka ya. Pasti kesel lah. Nah tapi itu yang harus dihilangkan buat kita bisa perform sih.
Oke, ini berbeda kisahnya dengan RRQ yang kayaknya sepanjang season 15 mereka kelihatan super duper nyaman, pede, happy. Bener nggak, Biel?
Kelihatannya ya.
Oh.
Iya, tapi ya beruntungnya waktu kemarin sempat keliling kota ya ada happy-happynya. Cuma kan di akhir-akhir sedikit dibikin deg-degan ya. Karena di akhir-akhir banyak banget yang bilang kalau bensin kita habis gini-gini. Ya sebenarnya kan kalau bensin kita habis tinggal melipir ke pom bensin beli selesai permasalahan.
Udah beli nih?
Udah beli.
Udah beli.
Udah beli good day makanya melek lagi.
Mantap.
Iya.
Делайте, вы в игру не играете. Это, ну, это команда на форзов похожа. Типа, главная задача забрать черепаху. Вот. Все черепахи забраны, ну, с задачей справились, как говорится. Тренер дал установку забрать всех черепах. Все, всех черепах забрали. Только играть не умеем. Но черепах забрали. Да просто Маров, блядь. Маров. Блядь, нужно забрать первую черепаху. И вторую. Я заебался за так. Берите черепаху. И все, и у нас была установка забрать черепаху. Я с голды приходил на первую черепаху. Потому что установка была. Не, она выполнялась. В игру только не играли тоже. Тоже в игру. Не играли. Но черепах пытались. Только мы и черепах проебывали. Вот у них получается черепах забирать. Мы и черепах проебывали. Потом я объяснил, что ну нахуй ты бьешь эту ебаную черепаху, иди пофарми крипов. Если что, черепаху отдадим. Если ты не хочешь под первые тайминги заходить на черепаху. Если ты типа под первые тайминги черепаху не забираешь, то команда пока посидит. Это что, блядь? Мне ж никто не царапал, это что? Кто меня поцарапал, блядь? Игра по варду от команды Midnight Fight. Забирают ее. Можно убивать еще и Шоуми. Наконец-то поздравляем с первым киллом команду Midnight Fighters. Ну, Найтенгейл вообще планирует хоть один объект. Ой, хорошо, Инсейн стоит. Можно убивать Найтенгейла. Ошибка от него, сгорела жопа, потому что бездарь не может, блядь, ни одну черепаху забрать в этой игре. Ой, хорошо, Наваму доиграл этот момент. Красиво сыграно от него. Не, реально, а что это? Непонятно. Аорт идет по топу. Парни, блядь, играйте в игру! Вы убили вражеского лесника! Сука, сделайте что-то! Почему вы нихуя не делаете? Не забрали синий. Кое-как допушили мид, блядь. Где, типы, делайте что-то, играйте. Куда ты полезла? Будете сосать, я буду ругаться на кошку. Поэтому рекомендую вам не сосать. Куда? Я тебе сейчас мяукну, блядь. Забирает Хиоса в очередной раз. Он, видимо, на эволюцию планирует. Вот она, вот она. Вот она, непослушная кошачья жопа. Вот она. Вот она, вот она, вот она, вот она, вот она, вот она, вот она. Вот она, непослушная шкодница. Да, тут нехуй смотреть. Типы могут забирать только объекты. Ну, это, кстати, вопрос к Violet Garden. Как можно не забрать, ни от всю игру вести по фарму? Всю игру вести по фарму и ни одного объекта не забрать. Вы прикиньте, насколько, ну, нужно отвратительнее вообще, блядь, играть. Игру? Все, пошла мыться. Я ее пообнимал, потискал, и она сразу мыться пошла. Блять, откуда эта царапина у меня? Я не понимаю. Я не понимаю. Какие шансы у типов справа? Ну, пока они забирают каждый объект, хорошие. Пока они, ну, нихуя не делают, плохая. Ну, объективности ради, фидит только Фовиус и Хилос. То есть скорые основные не фидят. Угу. Опять на Хилосе стоит один, блядь. Хорошая ульта от Кими по троим, плюс стяжка от Чичи. Начинает разворот, теряет одного, теряет второго. В это время Ука заходит в спину, не может нажать ни одной кнопки, потому что инста нажимается флик. Ну и, наконец-то, поздравляю Violet Garden с первым объектом. Поздравляем. Поздравляем. Это... Нормальный герой. Куда ты на Укасе, блядь, дефай базу? Ну ладно, там чел на Беатрис просто фидит. Поздравляем команду Violet Garden с первой победой на карте. Вы красиво сыграли. Вот, большие молодцы.
Back, wait for Severo, especially hitting that Holy Crystal, then they start to be more active, start to look for counterplays to equalize what they lost in that first couple of minutes, I have to say. So yeah, RQ, but what's next? That is the crucial question. Can RQ get that early game and translate it to the mid game?
Yep. Because the next thing is how they hold the advantage, how they hold the map control.
Может забрать реакцию хотя бы одну.
Before that, let's go into the drafting phase before we go on any further.
It was okay if you wanted to continue.
Continue. Okay. Well, I was about to say that once they actually have some momentum, have their lead in the early game, they have to try and figure out how they want to team fight properly as well. If they know that they can't win the front to back, they know that their main dive tools are gonna be, stopped by Sans or maybe Keyboy, they have to try and adapt immediately there. So at this point, it's not over strategy, it's also tactics individually when it comes to a 5v5.
Okay, let's see the adaptations coming in from RRQ here as they look to secure this next game point for themselves. We're looking at the drafts now presented to by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Okay, the bans and picks are coming in fast, and it's important to note that Onyx and RQ have actually opted to swap sides, so neither are on their preferred side, I believe.
So, yeah, I think Onyx with that Lancelot last pick value, RQ do not want to overthink, because then they tried to limit Kyrie's hero earlier, but with the Lancelot, it just nullifies the Surratt. So RQ, they're trying a new quote-unquote approach, being on the second pick for the second game. Farsa instantly picked up. A lot of options. And the high loss, the double H combo.
Musa on Zutsujin, another signature pick, but we just haven't seen this pick all that often, so there are concerns there. And Dyron now being on the high loss, it's not the big playmaker, but we've seen him deliver in the laning phase and also with the clutch, glorious pathways before. But of course, when you see Hylos on Dyron, then you know something big is coming for Edok. It's almost a guarantee. It needs to happen for our team to have enough threats, especially with Onyx picking up the Joy.
I love the Badam pick, actually, because Badam can really stop Hayabusa, especially for the momentum. Like, it had a long duration of the crowd control, using the fist crack, fist wall, and anything. But now, Sans with the Parsia. I think, we already saw it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
That it's very terrifying, Parsia. Now, what is the answer from RRQ? Are they gonna facing against Parsia using the high ground, another high ground like Eve, or they want to play with Kimi?
Selena is a potential pick as well,
Yeah,
right? But they will prioritize first. So now Onyx
Hayabusa, Хилус Харит против Фаша, Joy и Паданга.
Alright, what are we looking at here?
О, девочки пошли, девочки. О, дяденьки. О, братья. Девушки, девушки.
Valentina is dangerous. Picked by RQ right now, but
Фанаты Оникс кто больше, да?
to respect Edok's Tigreal.
Фанаты
Because the momentum from Edok's Tigreal, we already said that it makes comeback.
Нормально, есть.
On the final upper bracket against Onyx, right?
Слишком много.
Exactly. And that's with them already ready for it anyway.
Зал почти все, зал Оникс.
Special kind of Tigreal.
Реку не вижу пока.
Again, with the Joy there.
Один реку. О, один реку. Среди тысячи Оников. Все, бан, Тигрил, Блу, Чити, Тигрил и кто еще? Атлас, давай. Что за Тигрил? Селена, Тигрил, Селена, бан. Что за бан, Тигрил, Селена, то понятно.
For Edok, and then they pick up a Phobius for Dyron?
It could be. When they bend the CC as well, I think
If забирает If, команда РРК. И кто? У нас Ромер и Голд остался. Оников. Ну, сядок открытая, Гренка. Тут захватит, не захватит. Там много жира, ван-ван какой-нибудь. Или Москва, Беатрис. Москва, Беатрис. Еще кто-нибудь. Бакси плюс. Москва, Беатрис, ван-ван, Гренка. Все, то есть. И Рикель. Не знаю, Рикель как-то против... Франко. Редко забирает Франко, Хилос, ХПО и... Там я красота. А кто будет взрывать цель? У них же... И... Чисто Харит взрывать.
RRQ for game number 2.
Не знаю, мне драфт больше нравится. Там просто вопросики по ритейлю, а так можно играть. Просто Ирка там Хелос и против Хаябуса неприятно играть на Ирке. Против Ив особенно не хочется играть на Ирке. Если Харит, но Харит он может рекликать там. Чисто теоретически тут прав. Ой, как больше нравится мне. Ну там Харит, Хелос, РРК. Как там это Ромер. Подак Ром. Это, я думаю, эксплойдер. Это получается Факс Эксповой. О, клик отдал. Хаябуса первым темпом забирает Хаябуса. А так вышло. Он забрал... нет?
Knows there's no iron hook flick around already. Now shield unity, electrifying beats and Sans going first blood. RRQ on the back foot early on. Watch Shadow not landing. Looking for a play, but no.
Хаябуса тут ничего не может. Ама, концы, ботник, концы.
RRQ want to stabilize the lead. Severo up top, just meddling things.
Харит против Ирки.
We talked about, you know, Severo with the Harris. It is a very strong pick for him. And then the Thoi though, it feels like he's stepping out
делить экспойки и мидер РРК в четвертом делиться будет. И Факс тоже в четверке делится, Бадак. И там что? Он тоже в четверке получает. И Бадак. А Бадак уже... Бадак не хочет собрать. Охуеть! Охуеть! На Франко.
Back in, revitalize, and the RWM on him. Oh, look, he has to go back low on HP. He's gone, and it's up to
Бакси, размен есть на телефоне. Собирает Оники. 2-1. Ну, Бакси забрали. Чисто разменный Бакси по фраку.
I want to get my opinion out there in the air. I mean, Erithel against the Harris.
И килл черепаху.
To have much more survivability, right? The shielding and all that. The poke as well, but again, Erithel is a kind of a mobile hero with a crossbow, with a heavy crossbow and the burst damage from it as well. Like now it's with 2 kill lead, not much of a gold lead mounted just yet, but RRQ now they have to rely on pickoffs. But is the burst damage enough, right? Like you have that hook, Dyron.
О, флик, сразу флик отдает. Фаша, о, Франко, минус Франко. Минус Бадак. Минус Хелос, да? Да. Все это забыл на Кайри.
He thought that maybe his powers would be needed, but Onyx says no. Without you,
Бадак
we
забрал.
are able to get the kills.
Вообще не расставляем, получается.
RRQ slightly though, 59% to 41%. And RRQ, again, Wincon, they have to be able to get the precision online. They have to be able to, you know, rely on Toy for the late game later on. At least they have the insurance in their pockets. And now Edoc might fish for something. Severo, he thinks that this is fishy. Sans is here to back up.
Ой-ой-ой, красиво, красиво. Это так. Опасно, но не попал.
They're always just jittering, like in
Кто,
usually you walk, it's a bit straightforward, but they know there's a Franco. They know he could be anywhere on the map.
Готовься по миду, как
Sidestep a bit, you know? At least that keeps them on the feet, right? The Kyrie now, solid side completed.
Down and dusted. Oh, Norris pathway
Через
open.
пахнет.
Another miss hook. Now it's on his
Ой-ой-ой,
side.
No
стас,
flicker
не
in.
стас,
RWBM locking
не
him down to the backline.
стас.
But Kyrie jumps to the ledge behind
Да.
Peach. Over the Rins. No bloody
А
hunt
я
from E-Dog.
больше
He's waiting.
и
I think it
флоу.
cost him the fight.
So is walking close. So is Severo, and
Как
that
та
is Rins just
щекотанза.
deleted out of the fight, out of the equation. Even Tsutsukin
Если
was
все
pushed down
устарать,
quickly.
поставим как
Severo,
здесь.
you don't want to play with fire. E-Dog is coming close. He
Боялся
knows the mirror cell.
слепых
Darren.
станций.
Shield Unity. Tyrant all alone. Pinned down to the wall. The high-lows. Electrifying beats. He's going to have to die to the music of Kai.
Sweet,
Это
sweet
сбитие
music
плохо.
for Onyx, playing the songs to their favorite tunes. It's Turtle, it's all free for
Девятый
the
против
taking. You know,
восьмого.
it's RRQ again, right? If you want to talk about objective contest, it feels like
Синих
RRQ,
выстирать.
they're a bit behind, but now they go
Это
first
не
again.
All in the
не
Franco, and he won't
является
be able to find a
морозным.
pick. Feathered airstrike with the shield unity and the pin down of Bloodpay.
Что за фидер?
Unable to find it. Wow.
Пересматривать
So
стали
on point.
Oh no.
On the
на
retribution.
высоте.
Add insult to injury, rubbing salt to the wound.
Dodges away from. Oh, wings by
Он не
wings. Gila, you
боится,
see
да?
it in his eyes. A stun in the bottom lane. Toy walking up the glorious pathway now. Tyrant with the help of Toy. Divine Force already used. No stun for Tyrant, and it's going to just be an easy escape for Kai.
It is very, very easy.
А
Doesn't break
что
sweat.
то
Going
я
in. Two
вас
ultimates.
назовут?
Expanded, but at least those cooldown reductions do come in clutch.
Кто он
Minion
раз
kills
назовут?
from season 1 to
Где-то.
season 15. I'm not good with maths.
That's 119 million.
109 million, my bad.
7,002.
That's a lot of minions.
3. Boom.
Ah.
4 in the mid lane. Feather and airstrike. Edon with the iron hook. Able to find it with a blinker 2, but it's only on to Ludwig. I think Onyx are fine with that. Kyrie now knows there's no bloody hunt. RWM locking him down. Diamond pops
Творит
in.
на
The glorious
фронте,
pathway.
да?
Sutsujin. Down by
это не
Keyboy.
He's stuck. The assassin
Кивой,
gets assassinated.
жестко.
That was
Заморозки есть
Keyboy
у
with the fist
Франка?
break.
Это кликал
Fist
любого
cry combo.
хариста.
Now Sans has to
Заморозки будет.
reposition Sutsujin. That death might be significant. It's Onyx now, restabilizing the lanes up top. It's Kyrie playing that side lane pressure. 4 kills to his name even. He was contemplating for that assassination in the mid lane, but thankfully he held his ground.
So tough. Oh! Hook landing, but there's no bloody hunt this time around. Keyboy. Giving out the safety. Divine Force already used up by Toy. Oh, the
Keyboy.
punch to the face. Glorious pathway. Sutsujin backed away. Now it's going to be the kill over. And it will be Keyboy taken down. No flicker as well. Lead off. Ooh, Lippy actually pops the poisons there.
They don't have to fight it. I mean, yeah, sure. Keyboy got hooked. He might die, but that's a roamer only. So RRQ, they have to be content with that, but they have Cryo on Turtle. Toy has for their weapon, so that might be the life steal he needs.
Shield unity from Lippy. Walking in towards the Turtle. Landing on Diamond. Now it's done as well. Connecting. RWM locking it down. Divine Force coming down as well. Kai!
Черепов забрал! Кари!
Unstoppable.
Кайри,
Consistent with the
забирай
retribution.
черепов.
It was the
Все
proper
забирайте
steal, and now it's the
силу.
Turtle connecting on towards himself. Side lanes again activated. Holy crystal.
Это еще без
with the joy.
баланга.
Looking for that burst damage to just go in, go out.
Это
That's
они
it.
сделали еще без баланки 4 против 5.
Equipment check. Winter Crown first item for E-Dog. That's going to be a massive ability as long as he's able to be the one aggressing. Unfortunately for E-Dog, he hasn't been able to really push the tempo with a Franco signature pick. And it's not really his fault. I'd say there's just too much CC. Say you flicker in Bloody Hunt. You're going to get cancelled instantly without that Winter Crown because Lippy is right there. The stun as well from Sans. And there's a big boy, a big Malaysian boy who has iron fists.
Badang is Malaysian?
Yeah, it's a Malaysian hero.
I thought it was Filipino.
That's Lapu-Lapu.
We'll have to check it. But yeah, it's up to Onyx to close this one out. It feels like that 3.8k gold lead might just accrue even further. Lutpi checking that bush, rolling in. Dyren under pressure.
Trying to bait out that iron hook from E-Dog, but he knows better than to go for it. He knows Keyboy's somewhere here lingering.
Smelly, sniffing around that bush. Looking for Keyboy. Feather airstrike committed, but not continued. And it's now Onyx regrouping together. Side lanes though, pushing in favor of RRQ up top as well. Onyx, if they buy time here, that wave might just crash. But now they want to focus on this mid lane. I think it's worth it for them. Dyron goes in on Keyboy.
Punch in the face. Shield the city. Now coming in. Cancel with a bit of
Franco
He's still able to
Felipe,
find it. Sounds in the back line. No! Lippy in the back line. Electrify Maid's going to be using it over. Toys on for Savero still free hitting. And Riz gets taken Vero! Under hook with Feather Airstrike. Lippy taken out by Riz.
The flicker saves Riz. That was so close for him to dying as he picks up his Divine Glaive, but Sans, an everlasting threat for RRQ's backline. You don't need to focus on the front line. Just go for the backline, burst them all down. And then the front line gets neglected because there is not enough damage output. And Kyrie with the Blood Wings, he knows he needs that defensive ability, that shielding that might help him to go for those assassinations. Lord Keyboy with the conceal. Oh, Keyboy!
Keyboy.
The perfect target. He was almost able to find Sutsujin on that pin. And you can see him feeling it. The man in season 11.
That is Keyboy. He's back like he's never left. They want to advance even more. Shadow kill to clear the minion. A cannon wanted that. So at least for now, Onyx, they have no choice but to go back. No waves being built. But the Lord up top might just charge in for them. Down bottom though, equal. Now item check for both teams. Savero, 3 items, the GDS as well. So that might add more crit, that might add more burst damage because we haven't really seen Savero much in the action just yet.
Mainly adding more mobility, right? When you ult with a heavy crossbow and then you sprint, that really is going to be a Ducati even without the skin. Super fast. RRQ won't be able to find the Bloody Hunt. That's the crucial choice for RRQ to go for in the draft. They wanted to play with the playmaking of Edok, but Onyx have found a way to shut him down, not just in the drafts, but in the game itself. Oh, Kai Bloody Hunted! Just a 2v1, and he likes those odds! The god in the jungle, Kyrie!
Kyrie Houdini keeps on going again and again. You've heard about him, you've seen him, and he is inevitable. Onyx.
Onyx слишком жарко играет. Не знаю, что делать. Даже тут. Это ГГ. Это просто ГГ. Их просто тарабанит. Они просто их тарабанит. Мимолетное время, заморозка, но Франко слишком тонкий. О, красота на Франко! Кибой закрывает человеку. Санса, о, Кибой умирает. Там, Кари, давай. Не добились. Хаябуса минус, нет. Минус Хаябуса. Минус 3 за размен Кибой. Франко сделал красоту, там, блядь, такой бадан. Не мою семена. Ты не мою семена, бля, убивать будешь. Санза. Кибой закрывает жопу Санза. Это не ошибка была Санза, это Ромер РР сделал красота.
Feels like Onyx always has that answer, right? When Edok
Они не могут контестировать лорда.
you get a blast from a red bird,
Никак.
and then you have maybe
Я думаю, 100% они если сейчас они не найдут, Кей берет лордом. Как-то сложно будет. Они хотят контестить этого лорда. РРК. Это заливная будет сейчас. Я сейчас вот. Я об этом. Все, это фрилорд. И не может выйти. Никак. Третий предмет только собирает Хаябуса, но тут все, ГГ как-то. С этим лордом они закончат. Заморозку собрал. Без лорда, без лорда заиграет. Франко танчик. А я тоже такого не может не. Все, ГГ. Да, и даже лорда не будет. Они Кайри умер. Ну, тут они высоко 100%. Ну, должны. Я же говорю. Все говорю. Легчайший для величайших игроков. Ну, должны. Они Кайри умер. Ну, тут они высоко 100%. Ну, должны. Я же говорю. Все говорю. Легчайший для величайших игроков.
Типа, хочешь на голду, иди на голду, я на экспе постою. Давай свапнемся ролями, блядь, все, что хочешь. Не, если бы я был бы капитаном, у меня бы Райнер бы трахал. Кстати, в той истории. Бля, надо было капитан. Кстати. Ой. О. Ой, Рипер, чё с ебальничком? Опять гений на Минситаре тебя обоссал. Да, тут неожиданно, конечно, Райнера трахнули, но мы за этот файт зайдем в мид. Ой, очередной гениальный хук от Минситара. Лавли вынужден нажимать свой клик. Итого, зацетапил 3 килла из 4, забрал 2 вышки на геничах. Бля, прайм на Минситар. Сука, ну потому что когда мне начали банить Минситар, Руби Фобиус, блядь, вообще удовольствия от игры я не получал. Но это вопрос к Мару. Давайте будем честны. Это вопрос к Мару. То, что мне банили на первый или второй пик Минситар Руби Фобиус, это вопрос к команде должен быть. Типа, моей команде не банили ни одного героя, вы представляете? Ни одного героя не банили моей команде. Я играл каждую игру на какой-то хуйне, потому что Минситар Руби Фобиус каждую игру в бане. Что, драфты закончились? Ладно, потом досмотрим. Все хайлайты скоро начнутся. Так, ну поехали. Химика Лия, Москва, Суё. Нахуя чел берет мертвого... Не, иди нахуй. Я не буду болеть за Violet Garden. Чел Клауда берет. Мне похуй. Даже если Клауд хороший герой в этот драфт, мне поебать. Я не буду болеть за Клауда. Никогда в жизни, блядь. В текущих реалиях точно нет. То есть я раньше считал Клауда худшим. Куском говна. Но сейчас, я считаю его просто позором, блядь, а не героем. Поэтому, ну, мне поебать. Мне поебать, за Клауда я... Раньше я мог... Ну, типа, если там Клауд, хороший драфт против хороших героев, окей. Но сейчас мне похуй на драфт. Я вижу Клауда, болею против этой команды. Бля, у него так волосы развиваются на ветру у Инсейна. Красиво. Цену поменять? А, да, сейчас. Есть. Есть такое. Я не понимаю, ну, а его не смущает то, что не видно нихуя? Ему же по-любому волосы закрывают обзор. Правильно? Ну, у меня просто никогда не было длинных волос. Ну, вы мне подскажите. Волосы разве обзор не закрывают? Нет. То есть, если я сделаю вот так вот, то как они могут не закрывать? Вот, я вижу свои пальцы, они меня бесят. Ну, вот, я сделал вот так. Ну, мешаются. Ну вот, по бокам сделал. Привыкаешь? Угу, понятно. Ну, если, ну, у некоторых девочек вижу, что волосы закрываются. Ну вот, а у Ваму? Вы мне хотите сказать, что, блядь, у Ваму все заебись? Что волосы ему не мешают, правильно? У типа вот так нахуй, вот так. Вот. Вот так он сидит, блядь. Вот так он сидит. Так он вниз смотрит. Да какая разница, ты их видишь. Ну, ты же видишь, по-любому. Они, ну, ты их в любом случае боковым... Блядь, я не понимаю. Почему у каждого игрока... Блядь, я понял, почему они тир-3 игроки. Потому что они играют только на 40%. У каждого из них, блядь, волосы закрывают им глаза, блядь. У каждого, нахуй, вы посмотрите. Это пиздец. У каждого закрывают глаза волосы. Блядь, причешитесь, нахуй. Это пиздец. Это просто пиздец. Блядь, следующий вебки. Я хочу посмотреть, есть ли хоть один игрок в этой серии, кому не мешают волосы. Поэтому Коджик только топ-2, а не один. А что, у него тоже волосы закрывают? Машера? В смысле, у Машера не попадают волосы на глаза. Вы чё? Так, ну вот. Роумером, блять, нужно видеть. Ой-ой-ой-ой, игра по Шоуми. Шоуми убивают. Найтенгейл пытается ворваться. Нажать ульту, а вот и Клауд начал дэмэдж. Жаль, уже не пробивает. Хорошо, Кими нажимает свои кнопки. И получается, ну вот, 2 роумера. 2 роумерам, ну, хотя бы волосы не закрывают. Кайри волосы не мешают, волосы не могут не мешать. Я вам говорю, вот так вот посидите, блядь. Купите себе парик. И вот так, и на голову его свой наденьте, блядь. И вот так, нахуй, волосами закройте себе лицо. И скажите, я вниз смотрю. Убивает в это время Сойо. Повиос пытается выбить максимальное количество времени. У него это получается. Ну да, у него реально это получилось. Очень много времени выбил. Красава. Так выгоднее, чем 1000 париков покупать. Да, конечно. Насчет волос ты привыкаешь. Ну, братан, охуенно. Охуенно, ты привыкаешь. Блять, аргумент просто вот. Вот. Аргумент просто вот. Ты привыкаешь. Это пиздец. Я тебе, ну, много к чему привыкаешь. И это не всегда, блядь, что-то хорошее. Давай по-взрослому, да, общаться? Через волосы видно. То есть вы хотите сказать, что Ваму что-то видит левым глазом, правильно? Ой-ой-ой, игра по колее. Колею убили. Но азиаты же как-то играют с длинными ногтями. Это вообще пиздец. Прикиньте, блядь, прикиньте, кто-то играет с волосами, которые закрывают 90% обзора, и еще и с длинными ногтями, которые, блядь, по экрану все время стукаются. Это просто пиздец. Эти люди усложняют себе игру. А, ну ладно. Нет, так не работает, так не работает. Забейте, они все большими пальцами играют. Неважно, какие у тебя длинные ногти на больших пальцах. Они не мешают, они вот так вот. То есть это я вот так вот, и у меня длинные пальцы, я просто не могу. Длинные пальцы, блядь, длинные ногти. Я просто не могу. Игра по хайву. Его убивают, Найтенгейл здесь врывается, Юрий Кошек нажимает ульту, имбаланс, но не может опять его уже Бакса и перебить, все окей. Найтенгейл пытается хоть как-то выиграть эту игру, но как будто бы 0 шансов. Как будто бы 0 шансов. Так, Ноготь тоже экран закрывает, осел. Да, не, это похуй. Мешают ногти. Привыкнешь. Привыкнешь, блядь. Привыкнешь, нахуй. Ты когда моргаешь, сам себе экран закрываешь. Это правда. Это правда, поэтому чаще всего ты, ну, в файтах не моргаешь. Чтобы, ну, не закрывать себе обзор, ты не моргаешь в тимфайтах. Ты моргаешь, пока АФКшишь и так далее. Почему у правых овердрафт в 0? Если у правых овердрафт в 0. Ебанулся. Слева овердрафт лютейший. Кимми плюс Калия. Плюс Суё. Но мне из всего этого только ногти мешают. Привыкнешь. Просто привыкнешь. Или не хочешь привыкать. Или ты не хочешь страдать и ухудшать себе игру. Что-то не хочешь, да, наверное? Наверное, ты подстригаешь себе ногти, потому что они тебе мешают. Так и волосы. Я ж не говорю их подстричь. Завяжи их, блядь. Сделай себе вот эту хуйню, как магистр себе делал. Пучок этот. А почему, интересно, магистр делал себе пучок? Нет, ногти ты себе подстригаешь, волосы ты завязываешь. Нет, не разные люди, не разные. Если, ну, что-то есть, вот у тебя поле зрения, оно на фулл фокусе. Все, если здесь, блядь, летает муха, вот так вот, блядь, купи себе такую штуку, блядь, на голову, чтобы вот так вот муха туда-сюда летала, блядь. Ну, не живая, очевидно. Какая-нибудь игрушечная муха, вот так вот. То есть ты башкой крутишь, и она вот так вот летает у тебя перед ебальником, блядь. И скажи мне, мешает она тебе или привыкнешь, блядь? Ой, хорошо, ульта от Кимми. Дать бы дэмэджа под нее. Да тут нечего пока смотреть.
We have to wait and see, but at least they're still...
На реально интересную игру. Теперь посмотрим на реально интересную игру. Вот она. Просто по макро обоссываем. Просто по макро обоссываем здесь ББ-тим. Жрут купил. Коса жрут купил. Осталось только золотой посох. А очки мешают? Ну, я считаю, что очки пиздец как мешают. Ну... ну типа вообще некуда спешить. Типа и справа вообще никогда не спешат. А что не мешает, погоди. Ну, то, что создает дополнительный фокус. Ну, я ношу очки. Я когда смотрю телек, я ношу очки. Ну, приходится. И, блядь, ты видишь... Вот эти, блядь, штучки, вот эти, нахуй, штучки, блядь. Как они называются? Ну, саму... как это? Опора? Ну, не знаю, как называется. То есть линзы ты не видишь, а вот эту хуйню... Оправа, да, оправа. Ты видишь оправу.
How far, like, Onyx really is, right? Fact that... But still, men sharpen men. Now, we would love to be up front there.
But
Маро начинает потихоньку подгрызать топ 3. Видимо, он прекрасно рассчитал тайминги. А почему ты идешь карету ебаную добивать на боте? А почему ты в топ вместе с командой не заходишь долбоёб на Минситаре? А, мы типа будем в бот заходить? А, мы договорились, что мы в бот будем заходить, да? Под ульту Бейна? Потому что Маро неправильно рассчитал тайминг. Но потом поняли, что типа чё, и резнулся, и все окей. Так, давно не было хайлайта на Минситаре. Готовьтесь. Готовьтесь. Как только я в игре ощущал, что я давно не делал хайлайт, он сразу же происходил. Вот всегда, вот всегда. А где посох? Здесь, видимо, я посчитал, что посох не нужен, потому что дэмэджа много, мы суперсильные. И мне важно нажать флик ульт плюс... заморозку, чтобы не фидануть быстро. Видимо, так было. Ну, блядь, давайте быстрее, нахуй. Че, вы придете на лорда? Или против Минситара, блядь, ну, очко жим-жим. Инвиз нажимает, видят Райнера. Райнер прекрасно доджит инвиз. Куда ты на лавле? Куда ты? Куда ты? Тормози. Все, Райнер на фарме. Пассивка начинает срываться. О, просто по лавле. Что без хуйни. О, Лили! Какой врыв от... О, жаль, только никто зафоловить это не может. Красивый был врыв. Покажи против нас игру, где у тебя на Винситаре денег, как у Роумера. А я тебя все равно тарабанил. Поэтому по-любому. По-любому там все равно тебя тарабанил. Если это не тот момент, где произошло, блядь, самое невероятное в моей истории, блядь. Прикинь, я, короче, на Минситаре нажал ук плюс ульт вперед. То игра в Минситаре понимает, что если ты нажимаешь ук плюс ульт вперед, ну, выпрыгнуть невозможно. Ебаный чел на кикане выпрыгнул на Харите, блядь. Вот тогда, блядь, мой ебальник... Ну это вроде бы на праках было. Вот тогда мой ебальник надо было видеть. Когда я нажал куб плюс... Маро начинает потихоньку подгрызать топ Т3. Видимо, он прекрасно рассчитал тайминги. А почему ты идешь карету ебаную добивать на боте? А почему ты в топ вместе с командой не заходишь?
More of the mindset he's in right now, that range, close range type of deal.
Всем салам алейкум. Третья игра у нас начинается. Оник против
If that's the
Иракли.
case, then
Пока что
there's not a lot of other
Оник
heroes that
ведет
operate the
2-0.
same way like this, like they used to.
Скорее всего, Райкл что-то сильный покажет, потому что если это и не выиграть, эту катку сейчас Иракли, это почти сливной будет. Четвертый невозможно 3 раза подряд. 4 раза игры подряд. Но у них все так. Так что, если сейчас начинаете играть, не начнете сейчас. Потом познавайте.
Because if they, or let's say Cascute, starts to overthink and overcomplicate things, the players' execution will show.
Yeah.
And if that's going to be the pattern, we might see Onyx taking game 3.
Because maybe the problem is not from the trap, but the problem is communication and the execution. Maybe they need to fix that on this third game. Because it's a BL7, now 2 points away for Onyx if they want to be the champion.
Well, I just got like a bit of an idea, but they've been
Link от Кари.
RRQ have been very adamant in trying to shut
Entering game 3. Because if they...
The
If keyboard
but like Arasi said before,
Справка
they want to stop
начинается.
here, but Kalia is
Оники банит 1-1 Лукус Чип.
so is the Farsa.
РФ банит Фани. Лои Бадан. Первым пиком Оники забирает себе Пашу. РФ, видимо, заберет Рейпену. Все. Калея плюс Пакси.
at least they can make
Калея плюс Пакси. РФ забирает Калея плюс Пакси, а тут Оники Паша плюс все. Паша забрали форс. Малин, не, Покара, Малин. Такие Джой, возможно, Джой. Возможно, я вижу Джой. Да. Кайри забирает Джойста. Без какого-нибудь хуйни, просто Джой забрали. Ну, Хаябуса забирает. Тут просто на Хаябуса будет тут. Мне кажется, Хаябуса забирает дороги. Где какой-нибудь Хаябуса?
I have a big question here because throughout the playoffs we've been seeing a rise in Harith once again, and we've seen the potential that the Harith has in the late game, especially when he gets to the power spikes. Why is it that Onyx have again prioritized the Iridel over the Harith?
Because too much
Харит забирает.
Joy and Parsia, if they pick
Харит, Калия, Бакси. И Паш, Джой и Ритлер. Тут надо по XP играть. Blue, Фолвис. Забанить надо Blue, Фолвис, куда-нибудь еще что-нибудь. Ровно играть будете забанить? По ровнеров или эксперов? Ну, точно забанить они. И какой-нибудь Фовис, Чичи. Вот Кугулу забанили. А тут по лестнику будете играть там. Кто нужно? Линга, Хаябуса. Просто если... Ну, бля, он не боится, Линга, Хаябуса тут. Ну, просто, возможно, забанить просто Линга, Хаябуса. И тут чел должен взять суёк какой-нибудь. А, Маша, забанили Машу. Не, просто не понимаю, почему бан Маша. Куда Маша? Бакси, Ром. Калея же Ром, Бакс Экс. Маша лесной, Маша, Бакси лес, Маша Экс. Не знаю, не понимаю. Пан Маша. И что, забанил Флекс? Тихо, тихо. Фолс отход. Это Фолс можно. И ну, Фолс забанить. Он не понимаю, он не может забанить. Просто непонятно. Тут забанить он что?
Well, face value looks like Onyx are respecting the EXP alongside with RRQ. So it's starting to dwindle down heroes that potentially Luki could utilize in that EXP.
Просто
Now
Маша
with the
Тигры
Tigre being
это
banned out once again,
чисто,
what are we
не
looking
знаю,
at
скрытополный
for
бан.
RRQ?
Какой-то скрытополный бан Маша и Тигры. Но Маша без чипа не видел, когда либо реализоваться этого пика. Маша без чита и без лаки. Тут кто лесник остался и лидер. А тут эксперт. Чё РРП Валентина. Взять Фашу. И кто? Кто не будет собирать? Интересно. Готов? И...
with the
Тут
Gatot Kacha,
плюс
right? If the
4.
Valentina steals the
Что
feather
можно
airstrike, you have a
сделать?
Gatot Kacha just cancel
Или
that stolen feather
Gatot
airstrike.
плюс
So
100.
a great read there by Onyx.
There's indeed
Gatot
a
плюс
potential
100.
solution here with the stolen feather airstrike. Although with Onyx, the pattern is they will just not allow
Но
the
они не
opposing
будут
team's Valentina
это.
to steal the feather airstrike. That is what
Gatot
Sans has been able to do time and time
что-то
again on any hero. He's just so good with the vision game.
Khalid.
Same with
Khalid,
the
Gatot.
Khalid. The times where we've seen this Khalid, it hasn't really worked out. But now, against a team with so much damage output, they're trying to just sustain using the Revitalize and the Quicksand Guard on it.
Now RK is lack of physical damage. How about Benedetta on the X-Blade?
Я бы сосвоил.
The lack of final blow can do like using partial. Oh no, it's Mobius.
More conventional.
Снайпаксили, снайпакси. Сразу собрали.
Lead adds more mobility as well from the composition. So similar theme from game two.
Я сделал одну пассию, он увидел экспо бакси и для снайпакси.
Our casters, Mirko, Realize, what do you guys think about the draft?
Thank you, panelists. The draft reminiscent of Onyx PH, like father, like son.
Hey, who you calling father? That's Baba Yeba. That's Father Yeb, man. But that's true. It is very reminiscent of a certain team that's been dominating the international scene, dominating the world stage in MLBB as well. Joy, Varsa, Irithel, Khalid, and Gatot.
Yeah.
You can name all the 5 players, but it wouldn't be this one usually, not this version of Onyx.
It isn't, but they are trying to ascend up top. So we go
Сейчас там
back to
повидаем
Land of
на игру.
Dawn.
Какой сторона больше? Чисто их маленьких больше
Potential
нравится.
match point in the hands of Onyx. It's Onyx against RRQ host here.
РРП
Here we go, ladies and
чисто
gentlemen. Match point in
Харит
contention in
сама.
RRQ. They need at least
И
one game
чисто
to
Харит
keep the series alive.
Харит тоже
Even the
будет.
fans, the kingdom in the building are getting desperate. You can already see the instant impact of a Kalea pick.
Николая забрали, но какой-нибудь взрывной роль нет.
With the Khalid, you can be very
Come on.
invasive again. You have the sustainability and even Prince. That is spicy damage. Good damage over. You want to go for more here, I believe.
Чем тогда не
Let's be rotating as well. Kyrie now jumping into them. Let's be unable to find it. Just a bit of pressure relieved off of Kai. But Edok and Sutsujin want to keep on going. Retry, and it's one out by Sutsujin. Let's be walks up again. They want to go for a fight, I believe. Edok able to get a knock on the Kai, but Sans is going to be rotating as well, forcing a flicker route from Edok. A brawl early on.
Yep. No winners though. It's a even square game. So at least for now they can pull back. Severo focusing on the lane. It's playing the same matchup as previous game. Irithel, Sans just flying around. Key boy on the back. Just trying to cover for him. And now the Gatot Kacha on Ludpi. I don't think this is a pick reminiscent, or rather, you know, reflective of Ludpi, right?
Not really. Ludpi is always, known as the carry. This is more of like a res pick, a boots pick.
Yeah.
More of that enabler. But I think we have seen Ludpi grow better as we get on through the season.
Very good
Enabling
situation.
picks. If Kyrie gets his hands on Assassins, because man, when he's on the Assassins, we saw what he was able to do last game. Sutsujin. Gonna be chunked by Keyboy here, but look at that damage. It's not taking anything. Level 4 for Kai. Sutsujin unable to deny that 4 from Kai. Walks up, Sans. Oh, for the airstrike steal, for the airstrike coming out. Riz! With a flicker. Oh!
Yo, Pasha, разъебал.
Time and time again, we are out of our mind, but Sutsujin gets the turtle. Another brawl for RRQ and Onyx.
Cancel in from the healing. Sutsujin still there, able to secure the neutral objective as well. No retry on Kai. And it will be the contest over the purple buff. Sutsujin on him already. Tyrant in front of pursuit. No, missing the dark wave. A knock up over, but Revitalize will be used. Stop. Ludpi taken down. Kai looking for the angle to go for it here. Tyrant able to go for the shoulder bash. Kai now dashing away to safety. Sutsujin goes for the shield unity.
Keyboy taken down by Renz. And that's RRQ with the response. Feather airstrike won't be enough to take down Sutsujin nor Rex Regum Kaon. And as of now, they pull back. But it sounds again being such a pesky opponent in the mid lane, just trying to pester with RRQ. Time and time again, it was Onyx looking for that secure onto the objective, but it's RRQ. So at least for now, I think this is the first time in 2 series that they have full control of the early game. 1.4k gold up. Audit prediction, 51% for RRQ.
It's crazy that we get Sans aura farming before a game victory for RRQ. Yeah. That guy was just standing there, Lutpi engaged on, but they know better than to engage on Lutpi, I think, right? Yeah, they respect it. They know the follow-up of damage that will come their way if they go for it. Sans, wings by wings. Edok looking to play, looking for a possible pick. They don't want to go in. Toy though, down bottom. Severo with a heavy crossbow, able to find the angle. Edok jumps in, but the Purify comes in as well. Toy gets the double. And that is RRQ with 2 kills. And Rince might look for more keyboard. He's stuck. Let's see. It's all dark here for him. 4 members down below Keyboy. Sandstorm with another airstrike from Rins will take him down. RRQ strike back. The glowing one completed by Rins to try to deny Lutpi's sustainability. Keyboy as well with a quick sand guard. Solium side as well for Toy. So now at least RRQ they have their carries rolling, right? Rins with 2 kills, Toy with 2 as well. Sutsujin just doing boxier things. And now the objective secured. So they have Prio. But possibly all 3 lanes plus that objective as well. Just trying to boost their gold even further. At that lane. Onyx, they might look for a response.
early game
Despite the outplays from Suns, it's been so turtle take systematic. That early game that we know RRQ for is really being seen reflected in the gameplay. And it's also kind of weird for Onyx, man. They kind of have a curse for game 3. Every single game 3. Tsunami slam from the Keyboy. That will be a pick again, and Edok wants a kill, gets it. Stat 2-5 now in game number 3. So Tate with Julie Mini Feather, airstrike coming down, but Sans just walks away, or rather flies away. Lutpi defending now, gonna be knocked up again, able to stay up afloat. Dark wave, another airstrike coming down as Lutpi revitalized. And Sans as well with the Feather airstrike will try to dissuade RRQ from pushing. Kyrie though up top have built a very huge wave. Sutsujin is stuck. Severo on it, AOG onto the back binding too, but now it's gonna close. Severo fall into him. Kings of Kings, they fight back retaliation. Might want to look for a counter against the Sky Kings, but it's Kyrie again. Just meddling with the wave up top. Sans and Keyboy standing while they see RRQ secure that tier 1 turret. And Toy with 4 kills. This Harith, it might just transform into an unstoppable force.
Это шестка на 6 минуте. Сильно сыграли. Это 2-1, скорее всего. Если не залезть на лейте. Харитас сноубол. 3-0. Не открывайся сноубол. Пока не шутка Харита. Харит, я не знаю, что это игра. Если игра будет на Харита. Факт.
Right here, but yeah, I think it's very hard for Severo to come back from behind.
7-седьмая минута, 7 переформ. А ничего? Что делать? Почему не забрал переформ? Почему не забрал переформ? Я этого не понимаю.
Feathered airstrike, that's a flicker route. Keyboy dodge
away.
Gonna buy some time. 2 turret shots in. Oh, goes to the healing spoon. Rins has a dash. Kyrie on the orth, and he gets away.
He gets out.
Maybe not.
No. Iron goes in. Keyboy still riding the wave again and again. But Sutsujin is able to get the turtle. What is Keyboy doing? He's just baiting RRQ to come and soak up the pressure onto him.
He's just trying to buy some time now. Dark wave landing now. Also with the healing. That's the Infernal Pursuit to finally take him down. Meanwhile, AOG from the Pyramids almost fighting it. Unable to get the splash of damage. Oh, I don't think that's what he meant to do. I think he meant to take the feathered airstrike.
Hey, at least you don't need to walk. You have an extra mount to help you traverse around the land of Dawn. You got Leo with you.
Or Ducati, depends on the skin.
Yeah. And now Kyrie, again. This Joy hasn't really been joining the fight. This Joy has been acting as that side lane pressure for Onyx time and time again. That pressure surmounted by Onyx towards RRQ, but they don't really care. They have a 7.5k gold lead, and their core members, their carries, are all funneled on towards that carry role. They have their items going, they have their power spikes unlocked. So now, Lutpi with the Radiant armor, maybe add, a bit of a magic resistance right there. The toy up top will clear that wave, so Onyx, their timer is not here yet. I mean, Sans does get a kill, Severo, like you said, still struggling in that Haas clause. And I think they need to wait. E-Dog!
Purify Wings by Wings Feather, airstrike, Sans dodging 1, 2. Oh man, you just can't kill this guy, can ya?
Elusive as ever. And it's hard to catch him, it's hard to catch a Ghost. Like Sans. Severo again just pushing out. So yeah, I think Onyx at this point, all they have and all they can do is just play the side waves. Time and time again. RRQ though, they need to respond to that as well. Kyrie might be in the wrong side of the tracks. Uh-oh.
Чему боялся? Чего боялся ты?
RQ fixed the errors, at least here you could see it, right? They are so good at the early game pressure. They have that system, that Kescute system, the testudo of Kescute. That works in the early game, but collapses as we go late. As the players just get out of sometimes as well. Here, against Geekfam, they said that they have learned from that. They were not disciplined to close
И
out games.
это
They were not as
Минсворд,
as they wanted to.
контест не может
Up against
звонить.
Onyx in the upper bracket finals, and that's what led to Onyx multiple times coming back against them.
Давайте. Шот.
In the series again, they are in the driver's seat, dominating Sky Kings. And now they're inside of their residences under pressure.
Ой-ой-ой, минус
It's gone. No more Ghost. The Sky Kings down to 4. As RRQ might look for siege now, but the Lord is coming up top. They just have to wait. No need to rush things.
The calculation was immaculate, my friends. Perfect timing. Right as he dies, the Purify got up. Wow, masterful stuff from RRQ and E-Dog. Get this man a playmaker. Put Dyron on a carry. Where's this been the entire 2 first games?
Now for their airstrike pop, Sunsujin rolling in. Lumpy stuck.
Revitalize already and all in onto the back line, able to find the ton again. Sunsujin walks him a shield unity. Up with the airstrike, but a tsunami slam will bring Lumpy to his knees.
The Lord free hitting onto the crystal, but Onyx will try to respond to that. Now RRQ, they still want. Oh, they go for more!
Это у тебя. Что за это? Твои села.
And it seems like the Sky Kings, they are vulnerable. E-Dog goes in with a tsunami slam.
RRQ brings life into Jakarta International.
Собирает свой первый карту. Свой первый карту забирает. Это 2-1. Камбэк. Намечается камбэк. 2-1. Еще один игра. Надо. Это хотя бы не 3-0. 2-1. Хорошо. Красавчик энергии.
Добро пожаловать в Mobile Legends! 5 секунд до начала атаки. Задайте им жару. Все отряды отправлены.
Прекрасный.
Первая кровь. Уничтожен.
Небеса подождут. Прекрасный и смертельный.
Вы убили врага. Уничтожен.
Небеса подождут. Прекрасный и смертельный. Небеса подождут.
Серия убийств. Уничтожены.
Прекрасный и смертельный.
Мега-убийства. Уничтожены.
Небеса подождут. Прекрасный и смертельный.
Неудержимый. Уничтожены.
Всегда есть шанс. Цветные перья — последнее, что нужно защитить птицу.
Монстр. Уничтожены.
Небеса подождут.
Assalamualaikum. Целиком. Okay. Это рода. Короче, падла.